you know very well that we have future upgrades which happens every 3 to 4 months. So those are future cloud updates which we could go in I'd say iterative manner. So this is a kind of a life cycle on our cloud upgrade process. Yeah.
Thanks, Lakshman. Yeah, on top of whatever Lakshman mentioned, just to queue and technical upgrade is majorly done by Guidewire. We have a process which is going to talk about how we do, how we can run our reports, which can find the queue reports similar to the queue reports. Okay, queue report is cloud upgrade estimation, and its estimation is from the optimization items that Guidewire is identifying, like what are the patterns that is not compatible in the cloud, and what need to be changed in the code. So all that will come as part of the list of items that will come in the Excel format, along with the file names, which file has what is the details and then they will do some estimation model. So that is part of this queue estimation. Okay, and then technical upgrade, Guidewire will do the upgrade, and they will uplift the platform, and they will give the details. And pre-project is just more on the planning perspective, how much time it can upgrade can do, and what are the steps involved, like all the SIT phases and till the production go live. Okay, so this pre-project will be more on that part. And actual delivery, when it comes to the delivery, this is the part there where the SI, the partners will get involved like us. Okay, so we will be part of that, and most of the integration works will come to us as part of delivery, and our teams will start involving and uplifting all the integrations to have cloud compatible, and make sure we will talk to the vendors, and we will talk to the all other necessary partners, and then get it compatible, and make sure all the services will be built and uplifted. So after that, if we go live, and then hypercare and regular cloud updates, it's basically yearly twice as of now. So earlier it is a quarterly, but now it is a yearly twice is what we can see. Okay, so these are the high level steps that is involved in cloud upgrade. Okay, and these are more we talked about it, but yeah, go ahead, Lakshman.
Yeah, I think it covered in detail on what we discussed earlier, wherein we talk about pre-work. So as I mentioned, some of the items on the pre-work, we could very well do it well ahead. The queue is something we could even start do it right in our on-prem. We don't have to wait for this entire upgrade projects to get kick off. We can probably start do it in parallel. So that way our upgrade life cycle will go pretty quicker. So that is something which we could push for. And integration details, I think Narendra pretty much called out. So we got to identify some anti-patterns. So as you guys are aware that MQs have been changed to differently in cloud. So things like that, or even the batch process, that is a very good layman examples. We no longer going to use our batch process wherein we use a file systems. It all goes through S3 buckets. So how are we going to handle it? So those anti-patterns will very well be covered as a part of our list. So we would need our entire integration list for this as a part of pre-work, so that we can identify those anti-patterns. So those will be covered as a part of pre-work. And inception is when we would actually start on our actual upgrade process, where we have our code being upgraded to cloud by Guidewire. So they do the entire merge process, where be it version 8, 9 or 10 doesn't have to be upgraded from 8 to 10 and then to cloud. There is no schema like that. So any version from 8 can very well be migrated to cloud directly, and Guidewire will take care of that upgrade process, wherein they will upgrade the code and give us the code base in cloud directly. So during inception, we got to make sure that we have all the access to our cloud environment, where we are able to clone the projects and be able to, they even have one environment created. So we should be able to access that environment and start make it work. Usually they tend to add to-dos in the code, which we need to fix it. That is something a part of our customer or SA partner work to make sure those are getting fixed. So it could potentially be a compilation issues or whatnot. So we got to make sure that entire functionality work without any issues. So all they, when I say they, Guidewire make sure on the fact that it is getting upgraded, but they wouldn't even validate the functionality of that particular application. So it's all our responsibility to make sure on that team. So yeah, that is part of Inception, and I think we covered pretty much on the development. And upgrade database, it's altogether a different one, which will pretty much be handled by Guidewire, like as I mentioned for code. So it involves a quicker process of any on-prem DB has to be backed up, and it has to be shared to Guidewire, and they'll put it to S3, and from S3 they will take care of pushing it to Postgres DB, which is again something they will take care of. All that we need to work with our customers to make sure that we are taking a right, identify the right DB. So production they'll any of do it, but we have to identify any NPE DB which is closer to production, kind of a golden copy. So make sure that we are upgrading that first without any issues, and it will all go trial and error. So they'll do multiple dry runs through this entire upgrade process, Guidewire, just to make sure they are not getting into any issues when they try to migrate from on-prem to cloud. So that is part of upgrading the database process.
Hey, Lakshman, Piyush here. There was a hand raised, Marcin.
Yeah, I saw it was again taken out. Yeah, now it's, yeah. Hey, Marcin, yeah, go ahead.
Yes, hello everybody. So I have a quick question regarding the code upgrade, technical upgrade. Yeah. You mentioned that Guidewire takes care of the initial merge process. A quick question is, after this merge process, is the system able to be built? All compilation errors are resolved and all conflicts are resolved, or it's rather that they are just starting the process and they are handing over it to a partner like us?
So most of the time it's just a server will start and they will hand over it to Marcin. I can say that. See, sometimes they will create the claim or policy or some accounts in billing center. By what they will do is they'll comment all the code which is having problematic, and they will put the to-do statements there. There is a different categories of to-dos which they will apply on the code, where that has to be taken care as part of our by the delivery partner once we get the project. Yeah, that's the thing. So that's the reason actually. Other than the optimization items, we also need to have some contingency to do all this configuration work.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so we understand that they do not provide us with upgrade tools like Merge Tracker. All conflicts are already resolved by them.
Merge Tracker will be there. Yeah, Merge Tracker will be there. Will be provided. It's automatically in the studio. It will be included. But the thing is, they will take the, suppose the production. Now we have the code base as April, right? And we are planning to start the upgrade by next maybe January timeline. They might have taken the code of today's code, but not the January code, right? So once they have upgraded that Guidewire upgraded and given the code base, that might be a little bit older. So we also need to do some merges after we have resolved some errors at some point. So that also, while doing our estimations, we will also consider how many merges we are going to do during our project life cycle.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that
Okay.
that again that is a different work that we are going to take. That's why it is all contingency effort we need to calculate basically.
Okay, thank you. This answers my question. Thank you.
Good, Lakshman.
Yeah. So yeah, can we go to the next slide? I think we pretty much covered on this part. Yeah. So this is more of on the architectural wise of how our on-prem versus cloud would look like. So as you guys are aware, we might even have our own set of infra and DevOps layer when it is on-prem, but when it goes out on cloud, it's all going to be handled by Guidewire Cloud Operations. So they have their own set of infra and DevOps present. And same goes out for DB. I think we talked about the DB a bit, wherein be it SQL or Oracle get or migrated to the Aurora DB by Guidewire. So that still be taken care of. So one more point on the security. I think it is not covered here. Yeah. I think the Okta. Yeah, Okta and Guidewire hubs. So those will be taken care as a part of our security layer migrations as well. And quickly on integration parts. So this is something which we usually tend to have a notion that let's say we do have our current system in place, which might even be having some middlewares already being present. When we try to migrate to cloud, people tend to feel that we need to have IG, which is again a Guidewire Cloud integrations frameworks. Should that needs to be incorporated or not is something which we usually tend to have as a question. It doesn't have to be all the cases. So any new integration that we are going to build as a part of upgrade or after upgrade might even consider IG. But the one which is already out there can still live with the same middleware because it's going to be a pure technical upgrade in case. So they can continue have their current middleware in place. Whenever or wherever they want in future, they can start include IG as a part of the integration frameworks also. So that is something which we tend to have a notion in our Guidewire upgrades most of the time. So yeah, Narendra, anything that you want to add on the same? Yeah.
I think IG is one of the thing that everybody has a question, guys. Yeah. So do we need to consider IG during the upgrade? It says there is an exception in our SurePath standards. So you don't need to consider IG if already services are, it is just a upgrade project. Okay. So we don't need to build the IG project at all. We can use the leverage the existing because that will give us enough time to quicker time to upgrade uplift the platform, right? So that's the major point there. That's why Guidewire had given some exemptions. It is not only for integration gateway, but it is for some other services or some other authentication mechanisms. Also, they had given some exempts basically. Okay, so those are all you can find out from the SurePath standards. These SurePath standards, every release they are changing it. So we have to aware what are the new release. Every release they might have some other, either they might added some other exemptions or they might have removed existing ones also. They might have retired existing ones, I mean to say. Okay, so we have to understand those also clearly. And if you have any questions, just go to the docs.guidewire.com and you have a cloud standards link over there, and just open that and see what is the related exemption or whether it is retired or still exists basically. Okay, so that's on the thing. And coming to the authentication layer, it is very straightforward authentication in the cloud. So, but only thing is we have to coordinate with the Guidewire teams. So customer and Guidewire has to work together to establish a IDP connection between customer authentication mechanism has to be built basically. So customer will have a IDP which will have all the details, and just Guidewire has to route every request to the customer IDP and then take it from there. Right? Basically, earlier we used to have like authentication plugin, no authentication service plugin. Even now also we have it, but we will always use the ODB ones only in majority of the cloud projects. I don't see any deviation, but yeah, there are majority it is still on that. And even vendor authentications also, we still need to discuss, like, do we need to use what kind of authentication that we need to use, and if it is existed, do we need to talk to the vendor and see whether Okta is going to support for them, whether they are uplifted the platform, or there is any new services. These all discussion has to be happened during our workshops, and I agree, right? Basically, that will drive our effort on the timelines to deliver the cloud upgrade. Okay, so that's all. Okay. And coming to the upgrade database also, I just want to mention that database update will be taken care by the Guideware, but we also, during our inception workshops, we just need to make sure, we need to touch a point that when they are going to give the initial upgraded database, if they give at the end of the project, it's not going to work for us, right? So we should get before our SAT starts, if we can get at least first shot of upgraded database, it will help us to test we will have enough time to test it, basically. Otherwise, it's going to be like at the end, then there will be a lot of other issues which we need to encounter, right? And additionally, we have the DBCC issues, right? So DBCC issues will be resolved during the upgrade, but it will be a coordination effort. Guideware and as well as the SI partner will get involved during both that time period. Okay, so Guideware will reach us, say that this need a code change because this is coming and we don't know where it is coming. You guys investigate and fix the code, or some other issues. Also, they'll say that we're going to remove this and you have to correct code also. So something like that. Okay, so those all need to be clearly discussed with the regularly. We have to touch base with the Guideware teams and make sure we understand and we correct code accordingly during the development phase. Okay, so that's another point I want to touch. Next, yeah, go ahead.
I think we have so many hands raised now.
Okay, yeah, sorry, I have not been. Go ahead.
I have two questions, Narendra and Lakshman. So
yeah.
One is, let's say I just want to understand. Let's say it's a full suite implementation that's there currently on-prem as self-managed. Okay, so what is the recommendation from Guideware? Is it to do all of them in one shot, or say policy billing first or claims first and then migrate the remaining to cloud? Do they have any recommendations like that?
If it is a smaller one, they will recommend everything to go at a single shot.
Okay.
And if it is different versions, then they will, and they have the enough layers in between, then they will recommend in a different way. So based on that, so probably CC will be the first or PC will be the first, is what I think. Most of the time, these two will come, and then later other. Yeah. It depends on the impact, business impact also is what I can see.
Okay. Yeah, the reason why I asked that question is when there is a cloud readiness that's happening, right? But normally we see that happening by product rather than by full suite. So just was curious if there is any recommendation like that.
Right. If it is smaller ones, like need everything to go single. It's just a one LOB, and it's entire everything can go live in a day. It's not going to take much time for them. Yeah.
Okay.
And not many vendors also, right? So in that case, but based on the LOBs and other infra and all, when comes to picture, then they'll say go one by one. Yeah. Even it is a parallel development, basically.
Okay, got it. Makes sense.
So you want to add something? Okay, go ahead, Anand.
I have a second question. So any changes that is going to be necessary to make it cloud ready, right? Or that we need to do as a part of the prerequisites. Is that going to be done in the existing code base? How do we maintain that?
Yeah, prerequisites Prerequisites is something that there is no prerequisites for cloud.
No.
It is
For
something that
example,
we have to-
if there are DBCC issues, we need to fix that. Or loggers need to be fixed to structured loggers. If we have
those
anything
are
like
all not prerequisites actually. Those are all when you are doing the upgrade. Either you have to fix. You definitely it is a must fixing after that.
Correct.
If it is not fixed in on-prem, it has to be fixed on cloud. Right? But we are as a SI partners, the existing, we have a lot of engagements where non-prem, right? So to add a value to them, we are recommending them to go with these fixes so that you will not have any problem in the later stages when you go to the cloud.
True. When we are looking at an upgrade project, let's say we are taking. There is another SI partner that's managing it now, and we are pulled in for the upgrades. What is the recommendation from Guidewire? Should the code be cleaner when it is brought in, or they will bring it in and then clean it on the Guidewire cloud side?
No,
before go live?
they don't have any recommendations.
Okay.
As of now, I have not seen anything. Okay, they'll say that
Okay.
if you give the code for cloud upgrade assessment, they will just take the code and they will do assessment and they will give it, and they will say they will have the priorities and severities basically in that. So we can do either one way or two ways. Like if small one, if our upgrade is getting delayed, obviously some of them can. We can knock out on.
And it would be covered in the assessment report as well.
Assessment report as well.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Cool.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
Sure.
Thanks.
Piyush, you want to?
Yeah, Narendra and Lakshman. So let's say in our on-prem code, I have integration DB, I have certain microservices. Since technical merge or technical upgrade is being done by Guidewire, what will be the I would say the final outcome of something that cannot be carried forward to cloud? For example, integration DB is one.
Got it, Piyush. Yeah, so we will get the optimization backlog items is what we mentioned, right? So that optimization backlog items will have all this list. I'm showing the consolidated list, if you can see. So these will have all those details, Piyush. So it has like you can see for DBC database, right? JDBC, right? Yeah. So you see, JDBC disallowed. So what they will do, they will comment the code while handovering it to us, and they will say that this is a to-do with this statement. And we have to go back and we have to find out the files. They will give the files list also at one point, and you can open the file and you can see where that code is there, and then we have to write the new code there. Or however we are going to do it.
And these changes will be done post technical upgrade.
Post technical upgrade. That is during our development phase, basically.
Okay.
Technical upgrade will be done by Guidewire, and we will do this uplifting.
Okay. Thank you. That clarifies.
So technically, we need to redesign that part, Piyush.
Right.
There won't be any external or we talked about integration DB, right? So those will not get migrated. So you got to develop something on top of the DB to fetch the data from. So we cannot directly access the DB from cloud anymore.
Understood. Yeah, definitely. Okay, thank you.
Do you want to add something?
Yeah, Narendra, there was one more part related to the database upgrade that we have seen, which is the DB schema validation issues. So when Guidewire is doing this technical DB upgrade and handing over the DB, we will also have schema validation errors, DB schema, like you have a physical column in your table that you handed over to Guidewire, but that column now is not present in your entities. So such errors will also be highlighted when they are giving the DB back to us, and they would ask whether to keep those columns or we can get rid of them. That is also something that is going to come during the DB upgrade or the technical upgrade phase, and we would have to contribute to that. I just wanted to add on to the DB piece.
Good point, Anand. Good point, Anand. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. So that's the reason actually we just always need to request them to provide the first snapshot of upgraded database ahead of time. Otherwise, it's going to be like we will facing a lot of similar kind of issues in later stages. Thanks, Ankit. Himanshu?
Yeah, Naren. So, Naren, as we discussed, like on the DBCCs, so we received the queue optimization backlog items from Guideware, and also they asked us to estimate and start fixing the DBCCs. But you mentioned like usually Guideware team involved in fixing these DBCCs from their end.
Right, but your project is getting delayed some more time, right? Not going to start immediately, is it?
Yes, they asked us to do this work as a upgrade work.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Basically, if we have the timeline, right? See, if they have the bandwidth and they'll say that our project is going to start from September or October, and you still have the September time. So what they'll do is, we are not going to take your code right now. We'll take snap at October 1st. So in between, you can fix how many you can fix it. Otherwise, we are going back to the later stage. So it's all precaution that they're going to take it, Himanshu. If they are starting the project, it's all going to be immediately they'll pick it up.
In fact, Naren, they have signed a separate SOW for fixing and estimating the DBCCs, and now I have involved my teams to fix those out. Yeah. So not sure whether it should be part of GDS workload or maybe Guideware team needs to handle that.
Now you got the SOW. Is Guideware got the SOW or you?
GDS got the SOW. Yeah, we got
GDS the SOW. Yeah, that is then differently handled, right? So we have to start working on it, which is good for us also, right? We will still have the work.
Yeah. Correct. Yeah. Okay, fine, Naren. Thank you.
Thanks, Manju. Desikan? Correct. I spelled correctly, right?
Yeah. You spelled correctly, right?
Yeah.
So I have two queries, Narendra. The first is the one which you touched very early about the migration part. So say for example, if my client is there onto the GitHub, okay, so they want to migrate then to the cloud, then it's the commit repositories onto the Bitbucket. So as you mentioned, they might have moved the initial phase of the code over there, but still the team will be working onto the other things onto the GitHub. So will that merge, which will be taken care by Guideware, like whether they will give us a CD pipeline or we have to create that CD pipeline?
Have CD pipelines and everything will be there, but the merges will be again, it's a manual merges. So we have to run like upgrade tools we are running, right? On-prem. So we have to run with the same code base. There is a process where we can rerun the process and you will be able to see how many files are added and all.
Okay.
That we have to, using the merge tracker again, you can find out the files, what are the latest files which has been had the code changes, and I can identify whether it is it is compatible with the cloud or it is not compatible. Again, you have to modify that code base.
And that is this might be my limited knowledge, like, and it will retain the commit history also, right?
Yeah.
Or it will overwrite the.
It will do. Yeah, it will do.
Okay. And the other question,
if it is a small mergers, right? If like small production issues, basically, right? Instead of running like 1 week running that job entirely and comparing all the files, we know that they have taken from this date, and just it's a 2 weeks or 1 week timeline. We want to merge it, and if just a 1 or 2 PRs, then it doesn't make, like, it's just a simple null pointer exception or something, right? Or maybe hardly 8-9 hours effort.